With Islam Makhachev moving on to welterweight, UFC 317 is giving us a great fight between Ilia Topuria and Charles the Bronx Oliveira for the vacant lightweight title. Now, I hate this fight, not because it's a bad fight, but because I'm a big fan of both these fighters. They both have appealing styles and are always looking for the finish. Topuria has vacated his featherweight belt and is choosing to move on from the division. He's coming off his lone title defense with a knockout win over Max Holloway, who had never been knocked out. Before that, he knocked out Alexander Volkanovski in 2 rounds for the belt. Volkanovski was coming off of a knockout loss to Islam Makhachev in a short notice fight for Islam's lightweight belt. Prior to that, his only knockout loss was his only loss and took place at welterweight 2013. Oliveira, the former lightweight champion, is coming off of a rematch win against Michael Chandler. Since losing the title to Islam Makhachev in 2022, the Bronx has gone 2-1 in his last 3 fights. These include the aforementioned Chandler win, a knockout over Benil Dariush, and a loss in a competitive fight against Arman Tsarukyan, a fight that some felt he should have won. Although I expect this to be a fun fight while it lasts, I do have my questions about the Bronx. While he has looked good recently, he's now 35 years old and has been fighting for almost 2 decades. His career has seen dominant wins, wars, and devastating losses. A constant issue that we've seen throughout his career has been the gaps in his defense. In his most recent fight, he was winning every second of every round until Chandler hurt him with punches in the 5th. While this momentum shift was short-lived for Chandler, it highlighted an issue that has followed Oliveira throughout his career. In their first fight for the lightweight title, Chandler hurt him late in the first round. In his title defense against Dustin Poirier, he ate a right hook that sent him to the mat. Against Justin Gaethje, he voluntarily sat back in open guard after Gaethje hurt him with the right hand. In his title-losing effort against Islam Makhachev, the start of the finishing sequence came when Makhachev landed a right hook in response to Oliveira's jumping knee. But what he has lacked in defense, he has always more than made up for in offense. Oliveira can strike long or in close. His jiu-jitsu is world-class, and he is one of the best back takers in the game. Whether he is fighting on top or in guard, he is a submission threat everywhere. But as a jiu-jitsu black belt, Ilia Topuria is also no slouch in the grappling department. His UFC run is a highlight reel of knockouts. But prior to this, he was known for his grappling. 7 of his 8 wins before the UFC came by submission, with only 1 knockout. Whereas his UFC run has been mostly knockouts with only 1 submission. In his lone fight at 155 in the UFC, Topuria found himself against the 6'1" Jai Herbert. With a reach difference of 8 inches, Topuria found himself struggling to deal with Herbert's reach and was even hurt with the high kick. While this fight was over 3 years ago, against the taller Max Holloway, he faced similar issues. Holloway used a combination of his height and footwork to pick at Topuria. Although Topuria would eventually find his way in, it wasn't without making adjustments. Oliveira is neither as mobile as Holloway, nor is he as crafty of a boxer. However, Oliveira excels at both the inside and outside range. From the outside, he will measure and keep range with straight punches and front kicks, and will often use frames to measure the distance and determine where his opponents are moving. On the inside, he excels with his double collar tie where he can drop knees and transition into a grappling exchange. I wonder if Oliveira can keep Topuria off of him or tie him up to avoid his boxing combinations. But from what we've seen of Topuria, especially at this stage of his career, that doesn't seem likely. But Oliveira's grappling is enough to change any outcome of a fight. If the bigger Oliveira can glue himself to Topuria's back or maintain strong position, his sneaky submission ability could be the difference. But 25 minutes against a prime Topuria is a long time to do that, and I'm not sure if he will be able to keep Topuria off him long enough to win the fight. While Oliveira is a constant submission threat, he himself has been submitted. In the past, there have been occasions where Oliveira has left himself open for submissions. This has only happened against Islam Makhachev recently, but if he is hurt against Topuria, it's possible for him to leave himself open to more than just strikes. And against a hard punching black belt like Ilia Topuria, I don't think that's out of the question.